Hey guys, welcome back to Stitch Sundays. It's your girl Stitch by Sophie. I'm super excited to be here. I hope you guys are excited to be here and I'm amped about today's video. So today I'm going to do a really basic everyday face, and this video is for some of my friends who have actually hit me up and they asked me like, oh, you know what, I'm thinking about getting into makeup. What should I buy? What do I need? So I just decided, oh, just make a video about it. Now, disclaimer. Everything does not work for everybody. Makeup is not one size fits all. With that being said, some of the products that I choose to use might not work best for you. I personally have super oily skin, so I use products and pretty much do techniques that helps alleviate some of that like oiliness I experience throughout the day. Now, if you have dry skin or combination skin, once again, makeup is an art. It's going to take time, it's going to take practice, it's going to be a lot of trial and error, so you will do some things that actually don't work out for you. I am still learning. I'm not a makeup artist, I'm not a professional, so once again, like, you can take any tips that I provide today and see if it works for you. So let's just get into today's face, okay? So something that I'm just going to start off with, of course, clean face. You don't want to have too many products on before putting on makeup because that's just that much more product. So I've already cleansed my face. Now I'm personally going to start off by using this here. So this is a Replenix sunscreen. So something that I love about this sunscreen, I feel like it really mattifies my face and it really helps control the oil. Something that I actually use this as is a primer. So you want to do your research before you get into makeup. You want to see what products would work best for you depending on your type of skin. Once again, I'm using this. It's not a primer, it's a sunscreen, but I like the almost tacky feel that it leaves, and I feel like it helps the makeup just really stay in place. So I'm going to apply literally just this much of sunscreen all over my face. And you know, black people think that they don't need sunscreen. We seem to think that we're invincible, but that's not the case. Like, I personally am not looking to age faster than I have to. So yeah, I'm going to apply my sunscreen. And once again, I'm using this as a base, I'm using it as a primer. So if you have super dry skin, you might want to find something that's a bit more moisturizing, and this is definitely the first step. So what I like about primers, or whatever you choose to use as the base on your face, it's the foundation. Like, this is what's gonna help everything stay intact. So I've pretty much applied my sunscreen all over my face. I like to start off my face by starting with my brows. Now the reason I like to do that is some people actually do their whole face and they do their brows last, but I feel like the eyebrow really makes or break a face. And if you have your whole face done and then you mess up on your eyebrows, to me, to wipe it off and do it all over again, to me that's just too much work. I'd rather just make sure I got it done the right way the first time, and then I'll do the rest of my face. So I'm just gonna start off with the brows. I do have a video that I posted up a few years ago of how I do my brows. Now it's literally the same technique. I don't go crazy with the brows. I don't need the Instagram brows. As you can see, like, my brows are visible, but they're not like, I don't know what's the word, like, they don't stand out on their own. Now anybody who has like really defined brows, you can skip this step. You can pretty much just do what works for you. Now when doing my brow, I usually like to outline the bottom, outline the top, and then I fill it in. So it looks crazy right now, but don't worry, we're gonna clean everything all up with concealer. Now when you're doing your brows, light stroke, don't make it too heavy. And if you do find that you went a little overboard, that's okay, because one thing about the spoolie that usually comes on the opposite side of either your pencil, or if you have just a spoolie that stands alone on its own. For anybody wondering, a spoolie is like this little brush here. Let me actually use that. You're gonna use that to brush out the brow. So remember, I'm doing a really basic face. This video is pretty much for beginners. Now I'm gonna go into my second brow and do the same damn thing. Now, if you're someone who's looking for professional advice, this video is not for you. If you're somebody who thinks I'm ugly, this video is not for you. This video is for anybody who's looking to learn the basics to making a face, you know? And then after, fill it in, going right back in with that spoolie and brushing it out. So this is super important because it just softens the brow. It doesn't look as harsh. So next, after I'm content with how I filled it in, let me just make sure. Yeah, after I'm content with the way I filled my brow in, then this is where you go in with the concealer. Now I'm going to use this NYX concealer palette. What I love about this, it has a few shades in it. So I'm actually gonna stick to this. I'm gonna try to keep it like really simple, not confuse you guys with too many products. So I'm just gonna go in with a shade that's a bit lighter than my skin tone, and I'll tell you why. You can use your exact skin tone. It'll make a really natural looking brow. I personally like a little bit of highlight, but once again, I'm like used to doing makeup, so I'm being a little risque. Now for anybody who, you know, you don't want to be somebody's meme, play it safe. Start off with the color closest to your complexion. Oh, okay. So what I'm going to use to apply the concealer around my brow is going to be a flat angle brush. It's really small. It has like a little slant to it. You don't need anything too crazy. Makeup is super simple. There's a lot of videos out there that makes it look a lot more complex than it actually is. Like, relax, okay? So let me start off with the brow closest to you guys. Like, I personally like to arch my brow just a little bit, just so I have an idea of the shape that I want. Now, as you can see, I did not put on too much product underneath the eye. And what you're gonna do is just drag it out. Drag it the F out. And then with your finger, and the reason I like to use my finger is because you have a lot of control over your finger. You can press it into the skin. You just want to really just blur out that concealer you applied. Now this part is so important just because if you don't do it, that's how you get that crazy, like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, stop making me over explain everything. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You don't want to look crazy. So then after underlining the eyebrow with concealer, I'm just gonna go in to the top and do the same thing. So what you're doing right now is you're creating the shape. Like, I'm creating the shape. Like, as you can see right now, it just looks like a big glob of hair and product right here. Ooh, you see that arch? You see that? Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this video real short, so let me not get distracted. And I'm just going to go ahead and really just press the product in and drag it right out. So to me, this is like a natural looking brow, you know? And as you know, like, I don't personally like to get my eyebrows done too often just because the pain, I can't bear with it. But the concealer actually helps conceal some of the hairs that are like right over here, not minding its business, trying to pop out. You were not invited to the party, but it's okay, it's okay. So you can see the difference between my two brows, and you see the difference that the concealer makes. So I'm just, sorry guys, I'm gonna show you the color that I'm using. I'm just gonna go in here and do the same damn thing. Arch my brow a bit. Boom. Boom. I got an arch. You got an arch. We got arches. And what I like is sometimes if I overdo with the concealer, it's so easy to go right back in with your pencil and just like fill in anything that you probably erased in a way. Like, that's what the concealer works as. It's like an eraser. It shapes, it defines, it erases. So using my finger, Who gonna tell me something? Look at this. This brow is coming together, honey. Telling you, blur it out as much as you can. Like, you don't want the harsh line, you don't want it to look too crazy. You literally just want your brows to be here for you. Just be here for me. That's what be here for me. They're here. Okay, let me stop playing around. Next step, as you can see, just by looking at my face, I have dark marks because me and my pimples be getting it on. I pop on them, they pop on me. Like, this is what we do. So I have a few scars. Now, some people like to color correct all over their face, anywhere that they have a scar. But once again, well, not once again, because I didn't tell you this before, I personally love me some full coverage foundation. And for me, using full coverage foundation kind of helps me use less product all over my face, if that makes sense. So your girl got a little lady mustache that be trying to pop out. So I color correct with this orange color. So with my skin tone, this color actually works really good as far as canceling out the darkness, as you can see right here. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of that thing. Right here. Okay, so what we're doing, we're color correcting, we're correcting the color. We're canceling out the lady mustache, you know? Some people suffer from like hyperpigmentation. Like, okay, as you can see, like under my eyes are like really dark. I personally don't like to put color corrector there because I put foundation and then I put concealer in a really light shade there, so I don't need that much product there. And I personally sweat here, so if I don't do this step and I begin to sweat, my foundation moves and then my lady mustache comes through. And I'm not trying to confuse y'all, like, I swear I'm a lady. I'm a lady, y'all. Okay, so now that we have concealed, now you can skip this step if you don't suffer from like hyperpigmentation, like your face is flawlessly one color. Kudos to you, that's cute or whatever. But I don't have that, so I gotta do that step. Now I'm gonna go on foundation. So I'm personally using the KatVonD Lock It foundation. I love this. Like, honestly, this is probably my 7th bottle. I've tried other foundations, like I have probably 5 or 6 other foundations, but this one I just keep coming back to this. Like, it does what I need it to do. It's full coverage for somebody who doesn't have as many like acne scars or like really nice supple skin. You can go for BB creams, lighter weight, medium coverage. You don't need a full coverage foundation. So I'm not telling you to go out and buy this particular foundation. This is just the next step for me. Now on a wet blender, I just go in and cover my whole face. I put my mask on, okay? And remember, makeup is an art. It takes time. Don't go crazy if you have not mastered it your first time around. Like, I've been putting on makeup for years and I still ain't got it mastered, you know? That's why when I see like people talk shit about makeup, I'm just like, mind your damn business. Nobody's putting nothing on your face. Like, mind your business. Now, a very important step, right? Hold on, both my eyes look different. One of them has more coverage than the other. Okay, we're getting there. Now, with the blender, you see how you can still kind of see like the lightness where I concealed around my eyebrow? Don't be afraid to literally touch your brow and just go over it. Now what I'm doing is literally covering that concealer with foundation, so now it doesn't give that like weird halo look, but my eyebrows are still here and they're defined, you know? And you just want to like press it into the skin lightly. Something else with putting on foundation, you don't want to do that swiping motion. It just really thins it out. You just want to pat it in. Go into your hairline, of course. It's okay. It's makeup. Like, I probably use a little bit more coverage on my forehead, but I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. I hope you guys are following. So boom, I have the base of my face on. Now, being that I personally have super oily skin, I'm going to go in. This is Born This Way setting powder. This is literally my complexion. And I'm just gonna go in with the real fluffy brush and powder my whole face. Now, some people like to do this step at the very end, but the reason I do it midway is just because I personally have super oily skin. Like, you could fry bacon on my face. And with that being said, I need it to be matte. Like, you see the difference that I made already. Like, I don't look as glowy. Now, if you're somebody who suffers from dry skin, clearly you don't want to do this step, you know? And sometimes my eyebrows even get a bit oily, so I'm like lightly going over the brows. It softens it just that much more. Like, I'm not trying to have the super harsh Instagram eyebrows. Like, I feel like my brows are like natural looking, you know, but they stand out. So next I'm going to go in with my concealer. I'm actually using the color Warm Honey in LA Girl Pro Concealer. And now this is where the highlight comes in. So I personally put this under my eyes, as you see here. And on the bridge of my nose. Now, yeah, definitely want enough of that coverage. Now, there are other places in your face you can highlight. Some people do their chin, some people do their cupid's bow. The reason I personally don't do here is because I mentioned my sweating. I don't want for my lady stash to come through and then it looks real like cakey and weird, because I have now 3 different shades, which would be the orange color corrector, my foundation, and now this. Like, I'm just not doing that. And on the forehead, I remember I used to do that, but I got a lot of this going on. I don't need that to be highlighted right now. I just don't. You can do it, but I won't, you know? So I'm just gonna go in with the clean side of the blender, and I'm just gonna lightly press the concealer into my face. Now, what this is doing is making you look alive, you know? And I'm like lightly pressing it. Once again, you're not doing a swiping motion. Just gonna press. Ooh. I look awake. Now, when choosing your highlight color, you want to be very careful because the flashback can be crazy. But I'm gonna tell y'all a trick. Oh, let me just make sure I have it like patted in as much as I can. Yeah. Now, I'm going to show you guys how I make it not look so white and yellowish under the eye, but a step that you can skip, which is not necessary. I personally like to contour because, as you see, I have a really round head and I need to look. So when I contour, I'm actually using the Fenty stick and Espresso matchstick, and I'm just going to outline my nose. Ooh, it's a little crooked, but that's okay. That's okay. And I'm going to contour now. With contour, you want to do it like right underneath the cheekbone. It makes it look super snatched. Some people have like natural contour lines where you can just follow along that, but if you don't, you just don't know where to put it, like right under it, I feel like it makes it look super sharp. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a really dense round fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna press the contour into my face. Now what that is doing is adding like a shadow almost, and you want to bring it around. So what this does, it actually like diffuses some of that concealer that was just going straight across my face, and now you don't even see where it stops, you know? And you want to do that on the other side. Once again, I'm pressing it into the skin. One thing about makeup is you want to try to eliminate the swiping motion. You want to do a lot of like calm pressing, like this. Yeah, I know it's gonna turn out like that. Y'all was playing with me. Y'all was sleeping on me, see?
Can I come in?
Yes, Carter. So with makeup, it's all blending. So if I find that I don't have enough time to do a full beat, like, I'm not playing with it. Like, I'm not trying to half-ass it. You just want to really take your time. And then going into the contour in the nose, I'm using like the very edge of the brush. I'm just like brushing that in. You can use your finger as well. Look. See? I gotcha. So I'm super happy with the outcome of the highlight and contour. Now I'm going to go back into my powder and I'm gonna lightly press it all into my face. Now, a reason I like to use my actual skin tone powder over where I highlighted is because it helps alleviate any flashback you might get, you know, because it tones it down a lot. I have some days where I look bomb as fuck, but as soon as I take a picture, it's like white under my eyes and I'm like, damn, like I look good. And it's but so much Photoshop and Facetune you can do before your face looks like a big bowl of mashed potatoes. So I just play it safe and I just go right over my highlight with the powder that matches my face. See, I'm already looking different. Like, I look like a brand new bitch, y'all. Okay. Y'all with me? Okay. So next, I got my contours on, my brows are done, my highlight. Now, for a little bit of color, I'm going to put on some blush. Now, something about this particular blush, which is from MAC, is called Peach Twist Sheer Tone Shimmer Blush. It already has shimmer in it, so that just makes me really happy, just because now I don't have to go in with the highlighter over my blush. So I'm going to use a really fluffy brush here. You want to make your face, you know, because you want to put this on the apple of your cheeks. Really like it, just brush it out. Look at that. Ooh, snatched model. Who is she? Let me do the other side. Ooh. You see it has that natural light. And something with blush is if you go too hard, it can look too crazy. So let me show you. Like, I'm content with the tone. If you ever want to tone it down, just go back into your neutral color powder and go right over it. Like, it'll tone things down a lot. Let me show you. See? Okay, next, I'm not gonna put on lashes because this video is for my beginners. We're just starting to get into makeup. I'm not gonna throw glue and lashes at y'all and be like, figure it out. So what you want to do is get yourself a really, really good mascara. Now, the best mascara, where is it? Damn. The best mascara, I have yet to use anything that tops it, is Sephora brand mascara. Now, today I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty mascara, which is pretty new. I just really wanted to see what it was working with because, you know, Fenty been doing her thing. We're just gonna go in. Ooh! Who need lashes? Okay. See what you doing here. So you just want to get yourself a really good mascara. If you don't want to spend too much money on mascara, drugstore brands are just as good. Falsies, I think it's by L'Oreal. I may be wrong. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's really good. If you're just starting with makeup, please do not go crazy buying all these high-end brands, because sometimes it's not about the brand. It's definitely the formula, but it's also the application. Like, stop it. Like, don't spend hundreds of dollars on makeup just to look crazy, because you could look crazy for cheap, you know? And it's really important to put on mascara after you've done your face, because once you put on foundation, chances are you got some product on your lashes, and then it just makes it look like you don't have any lashes. I even started carrying like a mini size mascara with me in my makeup bag, just because there were times I would do my face and completely forget that I didn't put on mascara, and then my lashes are just white. So just letting y'all know. I'm really feeling this, y'all. We are almost done. So let me see. Second to last step is the lips. So we're not gonna do anything crazy. I'm just gonna actually outline my lips and then put just a little bit gloss, and I'll show you why I like to do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so for the lips, I'm gonna go in using my NYX lip liner. I'm lightly just gonna outline my lip. I don't like to do the overline thingy just because my lips are already like super defined. If you feel like you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead. Who's gonna say something? After I've lined my lips to my liking, I'm just gonna go in with the gloss. I'm gonna use this Sephora brand gloss and make it cute. So I've applied my gloss, and I'm really feeling my face right now. Last but not least, I'm going to go in with my setting spray, and I'll show you guys which is my favorite. So I'm super obsessed with Urban Decay All Nighter, and the reason I love it so much is I feel like it just makes everything like really just melt into the skin. So you want to get yourself a really good setting spray, especially if you have dry skin. You want to have something to pretty much blend everything together and just do what it's supposed to do, you know? I probably used too much. That's okay. Who won't check me? So this is the finished look. I hope this little tutorial was as basic as you guys needed it to be, really straight to the point. Once again, this is a basic 101 video I made for my friends who's interested in getting into makeup. The better you get at it, the more you can put on. You can play with the lashes, you can do the eyeshadow and stuff, but you want to get like the foundation done, and after you've mastered doing everyday face, then you can, you know, turn it up a notch. If you guys found that this video was helpful, definitely like, subscribe, share, and all that to all your friends. And if you don't, bye, get off my page. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.